It's time again to tell a little story for as long as the sand falls. There lived in the deep dark woods a goblin. Not a goblin so cute as nice as this wee little fellow over here. Rather, it was a goblin of a rather nastier kind. A dirty and filthy creature with mottled skin. Kind of creature that would eat your face off, as a monkey might. This goblin, however, was well known to the carrion beasts and birds of the forest, for this goblin was given to wandering about the woods and muttering to himself that he had all the answers. Yes, he would wander about, stopping at a tree, stopping at a stump, stopping at rocks, and muttering, I've got all the answers. So the crows did hear, so the mice did hear, so the rats, and the beetles, and all of the other eaters of the dead. And they flew about, and they whispered too to the wind, and the wind whispered too to men, that in the deep dark forest there was the goblin that had all the answers. So, in time, a peasant came wandering into the woods. He wanted to better his station, and hoped that this mysterious goblin would have all the answers. And after a little trouble, he did find the goblin in the dark woods. And he asked for the answer to his predicament. The goblin declared, I have all the answers, and stabbed the peasant to death. The carrion beasts and birds did feed mightily. Some time passed, a day and an hour, a week and an hour. And then came another man, yet another of the brigand kind, hoping for treasures. And he did ask, where might there be wonderful treasures? And the goblin declared, I have all the answers, and naturally stabbed the brigand to death. And the carrion beasts did eat well that day too. Now, it came to pass some days later that a merchant heard on the wind of this goblin, and merchants, ever smelling and sensitive to profit, much liked the idea of finding this goblin, so off he went into the woods. Alas for him, his guards were separated from him in the deep dark woods, and he came to the goblin alone. And he asked as the others did, and he was stabbed to death as the others were, and the beasts and the birds fed upon his body as the others were. However, since this was a merchant, it was not long before all the king's horses and all the king's men came a-tromping through the dark forest. Oh, and the goblin did indeed still cry out, I have all the answers, and he did try to stab and to murder. But alas, his dagger could not pierce through the armour of the king's men. And so it came to pass, as the goblin cried out that he had all the answers, he was slain by the blade of human man. Pity we finished it a little early. Now then, this teller believes that there's some customary things to say for little videos on these platforms. What is it? Dread words that that you don't like to hear. What was it? Like and subscribe. Yes, those were the words. But more than that, this teller is a writer of some stories, sculptor of some little creatures, and he currently has a crowdfund going on for a picture book. Now, it's very unlikely that the cruel algorithm will have brought this to terribly many people's ears and eyes, but just in case it has, in the description there will be a link to the crowdfund of the picture book of the Little Drummer Bird, an Advent calendar story. Goodbye.